Right guys, today's first look press release has finally dropped. Let's whiz through it, because I've got stuff to do this afternoon. I can't hang about. Back at the Jet 2 Vibe pool party, having been voted as the most compatible couple, Nicole and Ciaran are faced with the all-important decision of who they must dump from the island and send home immediately. As they both sit down to deliberate in private, they run through the three couples at risk of leaving the island. As the two head back to the pool area to reveal the couple they'll be sending home, Ciaran says, "This is definitely the hardest decision I've ever had to make whilst being in this villa." But which couple will they choose? Who is your money on, everyone? I think it's going to be Connor and Lolly. And you know what? If it is Connor, as I said before, big pat on the back. You made it further than anyone thought you would. Well done, you. Now, they could go for a shock and dump Io and Jess S, but I'd be very surprised if that happens. It's time for the Ice Cube Challenge. A fun-filled afternoon challenge as the islanders gather around the fire pit to play the Ice Cube game. The aim of the game is to pass an ice cube from mouth to mouth. Then if they drop the cube, they must carry out a dare. After dropping the ice cube, Josh picks the dare that says, "Snog the islander you think is the most arrogant." He chooses Nicole, revealing, "I snogged Nicole because, yeah, you're probably the most arrogant islander here, and I guess that's what makes you guys a brilliant couple." As tensions fly, Ciaran is quick to quip back, "Wait, so I'm arrogant as well?" And that isn't the only drama to be unearthed in the game, as the islanders are faced with dares including snog the islander you think is playing games in the villa, snog the islander you think you have the most sexual chemistry with other than your partner, and snog the islander you think is most likely to cheat. Well, I suppose there's an element of truth to what Josh is saying there. You know, in Love Island, when couples get together early on and stay together, there is a degree of arrogance they have, because they're like, yeah, look at us, we're solid as a rock, while everyone else is falling apart. So maybe he's right. I've never really looked at Ciaran and Nicole and thought, gosh, they're so arrogant, I can't stand them, they're so smug, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I'm not in the villa, I don't see them day to day. But you know what? It's not a majorly hurtful thing for him to say, and I think, knowing Nicole, she probably took it the wrong way, but it looks like Ciaran took it the wrong way as well. Interesting to see what those other dares are going to reveal, especially the sexual chemistry one and all that other kind of stuff. We've been there before, literally about 2 or 3 days ago, but it's a repeat, but with a different object as the game. Instead of puffing a card on your mouth, you've got an ice cube in your mouth. The difference is stark. It's totally unique. Lola is ready to crack on and start making moves. Chatting to Joey, he admits, "I was quite intrigued by you coming in. You're very certain that you can turn my head." Lola responds, "I actually feel like I can." As she goes on to reveal, "Out of everyone, you are most my type." And it appears their chat has not gone unnoticed as Jessie watches on from the beanbags as she tries to earwig on what's being said. When quizzing Lola on the current couples in the villa, Joey asks of him and Jessie, "Do you not think I'm solid?" Lola replies, "Not really, you just give me that vibe, you just do. You're just cheeky, aren't you?" Joey admits, "To be fair, it's actually nice getting to know you because we've both got stuff in common. I'm not going to shy away from it." Joey then goes on to say, "I want to put your grafting skills to the test though. I'm not going to shut it down. Me and Jessie haven't had that conversation at all. We haven't had the close-off conversation. We ain't exclusive. We ain't in a relationship. So this is a test. And it's a completely unnecessary test. And that is no justification to now start pursuing another woman. But we all know what Joey Essex is like now. He's been like this the entire series. He just doesn't care. He just wants to grab the airtime. And it's quite tiresome. And I'm quite bored of it." That evening, Sean receives a text which reads, "Can all islanders gather around the fire pit immediately?" Once sat down at the fire pit, Lola then receives a text revealing, "Lola and Harry, you now have a big decision to make. Please stand in front of the fire pit." Harry receives a message and it reads, "As you're both single, it's time for you to steal a boy and girl of your choice to couple up with." But who will they choose, and what will this mean for the rest of the villa? Well, I think we can pretty much ascertain that Lola's going to try and steal Joey, and I think Harry might try and steal Grace, assuming she's still in the show and hasn't been dumped. So that would leave their respective partners vulnerable. So it could mean that Grace would go to Harry, which means Ruben could get dumped, and Joey would go to Lola, and Jessie could be dumped, which I think would be a shame because I actually quite like Jessie. I think she's quite fun. Anyway, We'll see, guys. I've got to rush off now. Sorry for being so brief and boring, but that's the way it is sometimes. You see, one of my kids is at their school disco, and I've got to make sure I'm there to see them off and pick them up.